Hey guys, it's Jeremy here, Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. We have for today, guys, this next installment of my video series where I do 10 of my favorite albums that are in the band's like debut albums, second album, third albums, etc. So this is video number 7. So these are 10 of my favorite metal albums that are in the band's 7th album in their discography. I came up with some pretty good ones considering it's this late in the career. One of them specifically I'm looking at here, maybe 2 are my favorite album from actually 3 are my favorite album from the band. The rest are just really good albums I really like listening to a lot. I try to again mix it up. These aren't my definitive top 10, but a mix of some old albums, some newer stuff, and I'm kind of trying to change it up a little bit. So the first one I got here is Orgasmatron from Motorhead. I just wanted to include another Motorhead album. Always love this album. Really cool artwork. And it's got some really nice tracks on here. Death Forever is really cool. Claw, Ain't My Crime, Mean Machine. Just some really cool stuff on here. The title track, of course. So I wanted to include it. Not one of my all-time favorites, but a really solid album. Next we got Fortitude by Gojira. Love Gojira, love all their albums. The newer stuff is a little bit more, getting more commercialized and more kind of melody mixed in, but I really dig it. I think it's really good stuff. Still super heavy. A lot of time signature changes. A lot of very proggy still. Drum work is insane. Great guitar riffs. Love the vocals. Standout tracks for me on this one would be... Born for One Thing, the single Amazonia was a really cool song as well. Sphinx was a cool song. The Trails, just the whole thing was really cool. Top to bottom, really good stuff on this one. This late in their career, and they're on a good trajectory, and as long as they keep going, I'll keep getting them. Next we got the brand new album from Warbringer, Wrath and Ruins, that just came out this year. Probably my favorite album from the band so far. It's aggressive, the songwriting gets better and better, and I just really love this album. I still have to pick up a copy on CD, and it's definitely one of my standout thrash albums of the year, top 5 for sure, but we'll see where it ends up at the end of the year. But if you're not familiar with Warbringer, please check them out. All their albums are killer. And this is their newest one, like I said. And it's just an insanely good record, Wrath and Ruin. Really good stuff. Next we got Exodus with Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. Love this album. It's the first one that had Rob Dukes on vocals. I love that era of Exodus. I find it to be some of their heaviest material. Some really memorable songs. And standout tracks. Karma's Messenger was really cool. I Am Abomination is really cool. The title track, like just top to bottom, it's just a heavy album, really thrashy. Typical Gary Holt, like brutal thrashy riffs. Really good album. Underrated in my opinion as well. Next we got Death Angels, A Dream Calls for Blood. Love the album cover on this one, really cool looking cover. And love Death Angels, super underrated band in my opinion. I just wish they would put out more material more often. But it's a killer album. Fallen, Son of the Morning, the title track, Left for Dead, just top to bottom, another killer thrash album from these guys. They're really due for an album. It's been too long. I hope they put one out maybe this year or next year. But this is a really solid album. And next we got the final album from Death. Again, another Death album, The Sound of Perseverance. Definitely what it kind of shows what direction the band was going in if Chuck didn't pass away. Definitely a much proggier death metal, like progressive death metal sound. It started kind of in symbolic, human territory, and then as it progressed, it got more and more progressive. And I really dug this album. It's a double album. Just a really good album to end on, and I had to sneak it in there just because it's killer. Next we got The Great Cold Distance from Catatonia. Was my introduction to the band back in 2006. Definitely one of my favorites from the band. Might be my favorite. Haven't ranked the albums with these guys yet. But the song My Twin, which was I think the only single on this album, was kind of the breakthrough song for me. That really got me interested in the band to kind of check them out more. And I've loved them ever since. And it's always quickly become one of my favorite bands. Next one at number 3, we got my boys in Opeth, of course, with Damnation. Pretty much every Opeth album going forward will probably be in the list up to a certain point. Because I said that sweet spot Opeth, there's like 5 or 6 albums in a row that are just perfect in my opinion. This is following up the Deliverance the year before, like I mentioned on the previous video. They released like a ultra heavy album and then followed by a more softer to melancholic album to kind of get the contrast. Both amazing in their own ways, but both perfect in their own ways. This is one of the most beautiful albums I've ever heard. Just some of the most beautiful written melodies and guitar work, beautiful tones. If you haven't heard this album, just listen to it. It's kind of mind-changing. It's beautifully well written and crafted. Composition is really nice. Just a really beautiful headphones album. It's always been one of my top like 5 or 6 Opeth albums by far. Number 2, I got Amon Amarth with Twilight of the Thunder God. Definitely their most popular album, and it's always been my personal favorite. I think probably their most commercial album overall. But this title track is so insanely good. Every time I hear it live, it just blows me away. The audience always drowns out the singer. They sing so loud, including myself. I love the title track of this album. Guardians of Asgard, Where's Your God, Free Will Sacrifice. Some of their best materials on this album, and it's before they kind of got samey on the newer stuff. I find their newer albums are kind of, the last 2 or 3 albums have all kind of sounded the same. But Twilight is a masterpiece in my opinion, and it's always been my favorite Amon Amarth album. And number 1, I just went with Iron Maiden, Seventh Son with Seventh Son, kind of an obvious pick, but it's the last kind of string of their albums, which I think are perfect. The first 7 Maiden albums, in my opinion, are perfect, and this is kind of the last one in that stretch. But really cool artwork, one of my favorite artworks of all time, with Moonchild, Infinite Dreams, Can I Play With Madness, the title track, The Prophecy, like so many good songs in this album, and just killer album, another masterful Maiden album. So let me know down below what your picks would be for 7th albums in the band discography. Let me know if you agree with my picks, disagree, if you like them, don't like them. And stay tuned for the 8th albums coming up probably the next week or 2. And keep it metal.